Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 regular council meeting for the Village of Yellow Springs. Judy, if you could call the roll.
Yes. Stokes.
I am here.
DeVore Leonard.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Hausch.
Here.
So far, we are still expecting Trish Gustafson. Also present is Michelle Robinson, Finance Director, Amy Blankenship, Village Solicitor, and Johnny Burns, Village Manager. We have no project lead, okay?
Really? Okay. Announcements.
I have three quick things.
Alrighty.
First of all, hope everyone enjoyed their Labor Day weekend, and congratulations on another successful pool season. So, always nice that we had the only public pool in Greene County, and that we could support it. Not nice that we're the only one, but great that we support it. Secondly, I wanted to mention Mayor Pam and I did a chicken coop tour at the Powell's house, and it was very interesting. It was actually Fairborn and Beaver Creek elected officials came because they're interested in allowing chickens so that people don't have to hide them in their backyard. And it was ironic, the next day I was in Fairborn and heard a rooster crowing. So very educational, and so if anyone's interested, George and Cindy are always open to show off what they do. And lastly, a great Home Inc. annual meeting. There's some new board members in the mix, and it was really nice to see several of the outgoing board members being recognized. Always a good affair. That's what I got.
All right. Anyone else? Thank you, Brian. Anyone else with announcements? No special guests? Alrighty, moving on to the consent agenda. We have two items. One, our last regular meeting, and then our special meeting on economic development options. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the August 18th regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, hearing none, that motion is passed. Moving on to the minutes of our special meeting, the August 20th special meeting it was a work session on economic development options. All those, Chair will entertain a motion and second to approve those.
So moved.
Second?
All right, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Judy, are you okay with this? We're good with this. Most everything, it's just that one issue we're going to have a concern.
Correct. Do you all want to make a vote to excuse?
Yep. Thank you. Chair will entertain a motion to excuse the absence of Councilmember Trish Gustafson. She and I have been in text communication throughout the day. She's had some health concerns, and as it turns out, she will not be in attendance. So I will entertain a motion.
Second?
All right, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm not going to ask if anybody's opposed. Is anyone opposed? All right, hearing none, the motion's passed. Thanks. All right, now we're at the review of the agenda. This is the opportunity where we take a look at the agenda, see if there's anything on the agenda that we want to consider pulling off, anything not on the agenda that we'd like to, bless you, consider adding.
Carmen and I would like to add a nomination for a Public Arts and Culture Commission member.
This is what we have here on the dais?
Yes.
All right, thanks. All right, and just, go ahead, you were going to say something?
Different.
Okay. I'm trying to scroll my agenda. Where's the good place? Is that a new business? We're not doing,
Yeah.
This is not our second meeting, so we don't have, so Judy's new business a good place for that?
Yeah, I'll just put it last on new business, if that's okay?
Okay, great. Thank you. Gavin?
Yeah, and then I was just gonna ask that we just bump the staff evaluation compensation review timeline item to next meeting. We've been talking to Johnny and Judy about it, but just not quite ready, so.
Okay.
We're totally fine on timing everything.
Okay, that's the first of the new business items, and we're pulling that off and adding PACC. All right, anything else? All right, With those modifications, we will proceed with the agenda again with those modifications. Petitions and communications, not a lot there, but Gavin, if you would, please.
The clerk will receive and file Marcia Walgren related to objections to Short Street closure and Titus Brett related to request for half pipe at skate park.
All righty, great. Thank you for that. As always, we do definitely appreciate your support there. So before we move forward with hearings and legislation, since we do have an emergency reading, the chair will entertain a motion to read by title only the emergency ordinance that we have on the agenda. So can I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign? All right, hearing none, that motion has passed. Judy, please, by title only, read emergency reading of ordinance 2025-15.
This is repealing and replacing Chapter 252.02 of the codified ordinances of the Village of Yellow Springs and setting the minimum rate of pay for village council members at the rate determined by the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System, OPERS, to qualify for OPERS retirement health benefits and declaring an emergency.
Okay. I paused because I see some more words, the minimum to qualify. Was that, did you already just read it in a different order? Okay, good on you. Maybe I've got some extra stuff. Who's driving this? Please don't say it's me. Oh, please, motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. I can start talking about it, but
Well, at our last meeting, I put a letter in the packet. So this is just raising, it's not even raising, it's the minimum requirements so that people who serve on council can get, it's not even health care through OPERS because they don't do that, but it's a health care credit or a health care credit in retirement. And that $1,000 is the minimum in order for us to receive that credit in like super layperson's terms. It's not, and people that are on council right now won't benefit from it, only the incumbent and incoming council members.
did you like that vote of confidence, Brian?
I'm not sure that can be applied. But I did want to add, I ended up calling up OPERS today just to ask a little bit more about it because actually it was Judith Hempling asked why would people need it if they have Medicare? And the answer is, and because I don't know about Medicare yet, but Medicare doesn't cover everything. So this is additional coverage that, and Carmen, I really like your memo that talks about, awarding that public service in a small way. But anyway, but I thought that was good to highlight that this is additional coverage that people can use for all the things that insurance doesn't pay for.
And especially state insurance. Private insurance is a little better about covering things, but state insurance is not. And so this would cover any specialists sometimes people want to see, or any alternative treatments or cutting edge treatments. And it's not, like I said, it's not insurance per se, but it's a credit toward that, receiving that health care.
Okay.
And I'd like to mention, because this is an emergency ordinance, it requires a vote of 4 members of council for passage, and with Trish gone tonight, that would mean 100% affirmative vote.
Okay. Any other points of clarification, Amy? Beyond that? Okay.
For me, thank
All
you.
right, great. Any comments from council? Anyone else on council?
I have a question, but were you gonna make any comment?
No.
Okay. I'm wondering about in the, I guess, it's part of our code. The third thing about the mayor shall continue to receive the rate of pay set at the minimum required. So does this mean because this was before the changes we're proposing. Does this mean that the mayor's salary was, or stipend was always pegged to OPERS, but council's wasn't?
In 2013, when the change was made to attach the OPERS monthly designation to council pay, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Judy, the mayor was included in that. And the mayor is now pulled out, the mayor's position is now pulled out of this language. The mayor's pay will stay at the rate that it.
Oh, so that is a new section?
The bolded section, subsection B3 is a new section,
Okay.
yes.
I guess because it wasn't underlined, okay, so if it's a new section, then that answers my question.
Oh, that's a great point, Brian. Some of those are underlined and some of them not. Judy, how did we miss that? Oops. And then you'll see in the subsection B1, you'll see where there's a strike through of council and mayor.
Right.
Because that's in 2013 how it had read.
Okay. And then, I guess, since I've got the mic, the other thing is I would like to propose adding a third whereas that is the paragraph that is in Carmen's memo right before the FAQs. So I think for the historical record, it's good to highlight, whereas this change is being proposed to ensure that serving in local government is accessible and fair, while also providing credit towards the long-term benefits to dedicate their time to public service.
That, you want to include that
In the resolution.
Resolution, okay.
Yeah, with the idea that I think it's good for people to understand why we're making this decision, because I don't think it's already there.
Right. All right, I will accept motion and a second to approve the modification as proposed.
So moved.
Second?
All right, let's vote on the modification. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, the legislation has been modified per the above stated additional whereas. Is there any other conversation, comments, questions, concerns? Thank you to everyone who's put forth the effort to bring this to the front, particularly Carmen. Thank you for your efforts and your research. If there's no other discussion, we'll put it to the vote. Judy, let's do a voice vote or a roll call.
This is roll call, yes. You ready? DeVore Leonard.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Stokes.
Yes.
Hausch.
Yes.
All right, motion is passed. Thank you very much. That's my agenda. All right, now on to Judy, if you could, read by title only, Resolution 2025-46.
This is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
I feel like this is a Michelle.
So
Get
this
a
year,
motion and a second.
Oh, man, I'm just bad on these motions and seconds. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that.
so this year, the Greene County Budget Commission voted to waive the requirements to file a formal tax budget for 2026. But because of that, there's still statutory obligations that have to be, that stay in place. And so that's why I've brought before you accepting the resolution to accept the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission, to authorize the necessary tax levies and certify them to the Greene County Auditor.
Michelle, do you know why they waived it?
That I do not know. I just have a letter here that I received in December of '24, and then they just sent out the same letter. All it really says is that they just had voted to waive the required filing for the tax budget, and that while the requirement to file the formal tax budget and go through the normal process has been waived, there's still the statutory requirements.
Okay.
They really didn't give much of an explanation.
Weird.
I know.
Not so weird. Everybody's got a reason for what.
I mean, it saves some work on my end, so I guess that's not too bad.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions of Michelle while we have her? Okay. Any other, I'm sorry, you've been coughing and sneezing. All right, anything else from staff? Okay, all right. All those in favor of approving this resolution, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right, hearing none, that motion is passed. Judy, if you could Now, please read by title only, Resolution 2025-47.
This is authorizing the village manager to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or Local Transportation Improvement Programs and to execute contracts as required.
Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
See, now, Judy, what you read that time was way longer than what I have. But I love it. It sounded more complete.
And it is
All right.
complete.
So it sounds like a Johnny.
It is. This is for storm sewer for Yellow Springs Fairfield. We want to be able to submit an OPWC grant. We've been kind of collecting some of the stormwater revenue to be able to put towards the grant to maximize the what we receive out of it. This is also preparing for the future sidewalk. We're trying to take the one bite at a time out of the elephant. This is, if we can get this grant, then when we come back on the sidewalk for the STEMIC grant with ODOT, this is out of it, so it makes that project look even better. The total project, and this is going to be a joint project between the county and the village. They're going to do one side of the road, we're going to do the other side of the road. So our local match is $84,075, but the project for the total project is $536,047. So we'll be asking for a grant of $452,047.
So that matching amount, is that a percentage, number one?
That is 16% of the total project.
Great, thank you. And then also, you mentioned the stormwater revenue. Is all of that 84?
It will all be coming from the stormwater revenue.
Okay. I almost want to repeat that, so.
It will all be coming from the stormwater revenue.
Good. I just really wanted to emphasize that. I don't remember exactly who asked the question or when, but there was a question about that being a relatively recent addition to the utility bill, and just wanted folks to know that we're getting some use out of it.
So let me preface it on what this will eliminate. So if you've ever been under the bike path, the old railroad trestle, the ponding of the water or the building up of the ice, that will be eliminated. It'll be going into the storm sewer, so that road will be much safer. And then it also take care of some of the puddling under there. It will also make an extension to the, kind of like the culvert going under Fairfield on the, towards King. There's a culvert that needs to be extended so the sidewalk could go across it, and it will do that part of it as well.
Excellent, thank you. Questions? Comments?
A follow-up question. So how is the match determined? Why 16%?
That is we could go as high, you get points.
Right.
So 16% to 25% is like 5 points, and then if you go above 25, then you go 7 points, and if you go 50%, it's 10 points. 16's our sweet spot because you get 16 to 25, so we always drop to the 16, it's the same amount.
Okay. And choice one feels like that'll be pretty competitive. Okay, and actually, yeah, that's the only question I had. I do have a suggestion for the resolution then.
Okay.
So,
Okay, we can finish the conversation. Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Johnny, can you just talk a little bit about, like, is this, so when this project comes up, does this mean that we think this is the most important stormwater project in the village? Meaning, like, what I'm trying to understand is this project somehow uniquely available for this grant, or would we think we would have equal, like, is there a reason why this is a particularly good project for the grant versus a different project? You can probably imagine, I'm kind of going, well, I'm at another, it's an additional good chunk of money.
Correct.
On the project, and so just trying to understand how do we think about its prioritization in the context of other projects?
The priority of this project falls back to the county is willing to do a joint application, so we get more points on that as well. Whereas if it's inside the interior parts of the community, we lose the combined points. There is other areas in town that need stormwater, but we also got to put in a backbone before. This already has a backbone, we just need to attach to it.
So
that
it
is the
checks a
reason.
bunch of other
It does.
boxes that,
Correct.
it's not just, this means this is our most
No.
most important stormwater, it's that it has several other advantages.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions before Brian offers his suggestions? Okay. Brian, you've got the floor.
Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion in the third whereas to, before community, what did I write? So basically say for the safety and welfare of the community. Again, just to be clear why we are moving forward with this
yeah.
project.
Okay. You guys got that? Okay. All right, any discussion on the amendment? All right, all those in favor of the amendment, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? All right, hearing none, the legislation, the resolution has been amended. Yes, I'm sorry.
Can I just ask one more follow-up on that? So with the work with the county then, do you have any, is there like an agreement around who are they just going to maintain their side and we're
They
going to
will
maintain our side?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So I'm just wrapping my head around it.
Good. All right, any other conversation before we put the amended resolution to the vote? All right, all those in favor of approving the amended legislation, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion has passed. Thank you very much. Judy, if you now could read by title only Resolution 2025-48.
This is authorizing a title change to the project lead position to Assistant Village Manager / Project Lead.
Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
All right, Johnny?
This is me. So this is, we have discussed this. We would love to make the title change to be able to add things that are already being done by the project lead, such as the first stages of HR. There's some other things. She'd also be able to help go to meetings and represent the village. As the assistant village manager, she'd be representing the village in my absence. So I have talked to legal, I have talked to HR, and by making this change, we would be able to do so. She's already doing the role, we just want to try to change the title to make the role fit the job that they're doing.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, conversation? Okay. All right. Pretty straightforward. All those in favor of approving this resolution, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. All right, hearing none, that motion has passed. Because I'm going to be recused from this next piece of legislation, I'm going to step out. And I've got my phone, so if anybody wants to call me, of course, I'm going to put my phone on silent. So I might not come back. But I'll be right down the hall.
So Judy, I guess if you could read Resolution 2025-49, please?
By title?
Or by title, sorry.
You bet. This is authorizing the village manager, planning and economic development director, and village solicitor to take initial steps necessary to establish a community reinvestment area.
Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
First time I've been up here tonight. Hi, good evening. At the August 20th work session. Tyler Bridge from Bricker Graden was there to talk about economic development incentives that the village has the opportunity to leverage, one of them being a CRA, or a community reinvestment area. This is a tax abatement program. In order to establish a CRA in the village, you have to start with some basic statutory steps, one of which is doing a housing survey in the village. This resolution, as we talked about at that work session, is intended to set that in motion, to authorize the manager and Meg Leatherman and myself to take the steps necessary to bring back a CRA for your consideration. So this doesn't give anyone a tax abatement. It doesn't even start it doesn't even begin the CRA program. It's just that preliminary step so that it can come back for your consideration. Happy to entertain any questions you have.
I mean, I'm pretty clear on it. I actually did have one question. Do we need to decide the CRA map before doing the housing study?
No.
Okay.
No, we can go ahead and, because the housing study will be the same either way.
Okay.
So we can go ahead and undertake the housing study, and then council will have those determinations to be made when we bring back the enabling legislation
Gotcha.
that establishes the CRA.
I think when people hear housing study, that they think of the Bowen Housing Study. So can you give some delineating lines between what this housing study will be?
Yes, and
as
actually,
opposed
I'm using the wrong term. It's housing survey is the way it's written in the code. And this will really just be an evaluation of the housing in the village, what's available. It will not be nearly to the same extent or as in-depth as the Bowen Housing Study. And it will not include any of those, this is what's needed in the future type of provisions like the housing study did.
So I think I understood from the last meeting that this was sort of, we have to get the ball rolling to say, hey, start looking into this. And so then when in the process, part of the, if I understood it correctly, part of it was we would at some point have to decide, like, are there, like criteria or things?
Absolutely.
And so is it helpful, like when would we start talking about that?
So this gets us started so we can start those preliminary steps and bring those program questions back to council. We're going to have to figure out what that looks like if you want to be doing that in a regular meeting to have the opportunity to discuss those details, or if we need to schedule another work session to discuss those details. Obviously, it'll happen in an open meeting. It's just a question of whether or not you want to schedule a special one and to review it. We haven't really gotten that far in terms of talking about how we're going to get the nitty-gritty details of the program nailed down with the members of council. But you will have to at some point be tackling all of the things that Tyler talked about, right? Like whether there's going to be incentives for more affordable units, or village-wide or not village-wide. So all of those details will need to be.
So this is like okay, start, figure it out, and then you would come back and say, all right, here's some choices you have to make, and then we would talk about those either
Yes.
in some form of a meeting.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a motion to
That's right, I have to.
revise the whereas, the first whereas.
First whereas?
Yeah, and so the first part says, what a CRA is, and I think we should have a second part, so comma, and, what did I write? And the Village of Yellow Springs wishes to avail itself of this tool. So something to explain, not just
Why?
what it is, but why we're doing
The
it.
Y part, yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry, what whereas were you?
The first one. So just adding comma, and the Village of Yellow Springs wishes to avail itself of this tool. I was impressed with the to-wit in the earlier resolution, so I wanted to be fancy.
All right.
So that's a motion.
A motion from Brian. Is there a second?
Second,
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye?
aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, so the third amended whereas by Brian has been completed. And I guess just any last questions or any other staff comment about the motion itself? Okay, then, all of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? So, somebody call Kevin, I guess?
We got it. I sent it to him.
I guess while he's coming in, should I just get us started with citizen concerns? Sure, Here he is. Okay. Go ahead. I thought maybe you went home.
One time, well, that was the last time. I actually
One
did.
time I did.
Well,
Out of here.
Yeah, when y'all had the discussion on this?
Go back.
Yeah, I left. All right, we are at citizen concerns. Wow, we are way ahead of schedule. Give me just a second,
Won't
please.
say that. That's a safe thing to say.
It's already out there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's already out there, Joe.
Can I retract it? Universe, I retract that comment. This is the part of the meeting where you are allowed to come up and talk about just about anything. I'm inclined to say within reason, so it's out there too. There is a clock with a 3-minute timer above my shoulder. We're asking that once someone has spoken on a topic, you can certainly speak on that topic, Ian, but we'd like to have unique perspectives brought subsequently, if we could, please. So, do we have any citizen concerns? Marcia, come on up. Oh, well, please.
I have a question.
Sure.
It relates to something that's going to be discussed later in the meeting, which is Short Street. Should I wait until then to make my comment?
No, that's-
Yeah, no, it's just an update. So if you want to speak on that, Marcia, please, come on up.
Yeah. It came
Please,
to,
please.
Marcia Walgren.
Yep.
I'm Marcia Walgren. I own Ohio Silver Company downtown for the last 51 years, and I'm also the moderator on the Downtown Business Association Forum. So it came to my attention that it's being said that the businesses are all in support of Short Street being closed permanently. And that is not what our poll showed at all. Our poll showed, basically our poll was put out, and I think it was conveyed to the village by Jamie. I talked to her on Saturday, and I talked to Brian on Saturday. And what was being put out there was that 75 to 82% of us were in support of this. And in fact, the way our poll was written, 17% did not want it, 51% said they would consider it with conditions. And the conditions were that our parking be replaced, that our historic parking issues be addressed, that it not affect the businesses negatively, and that we would have input throughout the entire process. And that is not what has happened. And I think 32% said they were, yes, it was fine with them. Of course, a lot of those people aren't adjacent to that space or being affected by it. So I know Chamber represents the downtown businesses, but not everyone in downtown belongs to Chamber, and a lot of people on Chamber belong to other cities, other businesses. They aren't downtown, it isn't affecting them. So I just wanted to make you clear that we are not all for it, and it's affected my business. You saw my letter this week. I hope you read it. It's affected my business severely. I can project things. I've had 51 years' experience. I have to do budgets. I have to do open-to-buys. I have to know what I'm doing. And right now, my business is running right, it was January, February, March, April, May, running right with industry standards, meaning, yes, I wasn't doing as well as I need to do, which is I need to do about the amount of the rate of inflation each year better, at least, to stay with it. I was doing the same numbers I was doing last year. When the street closed, I'm doing 2/3 the sales I was doing. I have June and July for that, and those are my really important months because the first part of the year is really slow. It's one of my more important quarters because it pays for the last part of the year where we do 60% of our business. So I just want to tell you, yes, I cannot continue with that, and it's hurting my business. So I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you. Can I ask a question?
I'm good with that.
Just real quick, so how do you separate the, say, weather from the sales equation?
Well,
Marcia,
I don't know how you say,
if you
okay.
if you don't mind.
I don't know how you'd say that, but I know I've never seen a drop like that in the whole history of my store, and I can look at historical records side by side, all the way back to
So it
1973.
feels like a notable outlier to you.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering. Yeah.
For real, thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. Any other citizen concerns? Yes, Philip, I'm looking at you, but you don't have to. Good, thank you. All right. Thank you for folks acknowledging, thank you. I make eye contact with people. Thank you. So seeing no further activity, we're going to go ahead and close our citizen concerns. We always do appreciate any and every participation that we get with that. So thank you once again. We will now move on to special reports, and we've got the village renewal levy information with Michelle.
So we put together a just general description of what the levy renewal will bring, what it does for the village. It's broken in your packet, it's a one-pager. It's here in the packet. It'll be in the Grapevine third quarter, but on Scream, we split it in half. So basically, the 2025 issue 10 renewal is a 5-year property tax renewal at the current rate of 8.4 mil. The renewal does not increase taxes and is estimated to generate around $850,000 annually for the village's general fund, which is about 15.5%. As you can see there, we used the 2024 numbers because they were hard numbers. 2025, obviously, we're in September now, so we don't have the complete year. So that's why we use the 2024 numbers. But as you can see, the levy proceeds in 2024 were around 848,000. And then it supports the general fund. In 2024, the general fund totaled around $5,471,000. The dollars support essential village services and provide transfers to other areas such as streets, parks, and capital improvements that do not generate enough funding on their own. As you can see on the pie chart, this is just the percentages of what the general fund supported in 2024. As you can see, 37%, a majority of that was the transfers out, and that the transfers help with affordable housing, facility improvement fund, parks and rec, police pension, public safety, capital, and streets. And then in the other diagram over to the side, homeowners would pay around $168 per 100,000 of assessed value each year in property taxes. And if there's any questions that any council members have, any citizens have, they can direct them to Judy, and then we can try and get you the information.
Just one quick, Michelle, on the previous slide, I think?
Yes.
You said you used the 2024 numbers.
Yes.
Is there much on there that could be influenced by certain events such that 25 numbers would be way different than 24?
We've been tracking them. Tiffany and I have been tracking them, and we're pretty much on target with all of our budgeted 2025 numbers, so there's nothing really out of place there.
Okay, great. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think this is an excellent document. So thank you to you and the team I think it's really informative and easy to access. Are we going to have anything on the website, like if people want to dig a little bit deeper, or is it really more of a request the information?
Looking at the solicitor.
I mean, you can put information on the website.
It'd be similar to what we have up there now.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking, somebody might want to go a step deeper into the pie chart and understand what, how that's broken out.
They would need to request that information.
Okay.
Now, there will be this exact thing will be in the next Grapevine as well.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, well, it looks good.
All right.
All right, thank you, Michelle. All right, the reason we're all here, the manager's report.
Well, Thanks, Kevin, but I don't think that's why we're all here.
That's why I'm here.
Nice try, though. I want to address a couple of things when the team and I was out in Navajo. There was some storms that come in, but there was some things going out that we didn't have enough electric. That's the reason why we was having the power outages. We had 2 major power outages while we was gone, and both of them was not a cause of ours. We lost the feed from Dayton, or from AES. One of them, the fault was so close to our switch station, they come back online, but it locked ours out. So we then, as a safety precaution, we had to drive every one of the lines to make sure that it was not on us. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that one was a storm that blew down a pretty large tree that tripped out the circuit. They got it isolated, tree got cleaned up, and the service got put back online. But we do have reliable electric. We got a great team. So we got a lot of squirrels as well. And that is our number one reason for the power outages. But I wanted to get that out there.
John, let me,
Yes.
since you started off with that, I mean, you saw when I panicked.
I seen you.
Yeah,
John.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to write down the notes. I left my notebook. So, Antioch College is served by MVECA, Miami Valley Education Computing Association. So the main broadband trunk comes down South College Street. I don't remember exactly when this happened, but squirrels were the culprits for a loss of data that we had at one point. And so that entire above-the-ground line is covered by what I'm going to call squirrel guard. Is that typically effective, or are there some spot areas where you think that could be installed to help prevent some of the squirrel
So
damage?
the squirrels are like a bird. They can sit on the line and not have a problem. It's when they go to touch a ground, and where you find the DC squirrels will be underneath of the transformer. So every time we have a power outage, it is part of the process now. We go out there to that location and we improve it to make it better. Whether that's replacing a squirrel guard that has deteriorated with sunlight, or we put up a piece of, it's more like a poly material. It's a slick material. You'll see it underneath the transformers. That way they can't climb up, but they can go from the pole and jump at a 45 to get onto the wires. So we are actively trying to stop them, but as you know, you're not going to stop them all.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but that is the only time. They can sit on the wires. Chewing the wires, that causes a problem for phone lines and for house drops, but for primary, it kind of dulls their teeth when they're doing it with steel or for copper.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, good. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me interrupt you.
They're also in the process of still trimming the trees on the south end of town. We also, when we come back from Navajo, Ben flew his drone with the infrared over the entire village. We found there were some hot spots and some trees, and so they have been hitting those hot spots in different areas to make sure that we can stay above and get some things done. So maybe it's not in the south end of town, but if you see the tree trimming crews out there, they're trying to make notification, but if people ain't home, we're trimming the trees to make sure that power outages stay down to the minimum.
Great.
The other thing is Danny started today. She is our new CSO position to help Florence out. She pulled in the same time I did this morning, and she looked like she was excited and ready to come to work. So I know Florence and her is excited to get to working together. Paige is excited to have another resource or another tool in the box to be able to use. Another thing that myself, Meg, Michelle, and Elise did last week, we went toward the Greene County Educational Service Building, and wow, they are packed in there. And We toured the whole facility. They're doing some great things there. And we got to see it all and doing a good job there. So more to come with that later in the year. Calls for services, I got it highlighted here, 1,121 calls to the PD in a 2-week period. So from August 14th to August 28th, so a little over 1,100 calls come into the PD.
Is it okay to just ask the ESC question?
Yes.
Just, so you said they're packed, is that because, are they thinking about expanding in some way?
It's on the table.
Okay.
They're on the table of trying to figure out how they can make things work, and, you know, they just did a brand
Yeah, I was
new
gonna say,
roof.
they
They
just
just
did
did
that.
a outside facade, they
Yeah.
just did the brand new roof, and so they're just trying to figure out things and seeing what makes sense.
Okay.
You know, Mavecca even moved out of that area, and as they was moving out, they was moving in.
Yeah.
So they are very well organized in that small space, and I did not realize how small it was until you start going down and they got cubicles set up everywhere.
And is it the daycare program or preschool program that's quite expanding?
They have a preschool area in all the ones, but I think they're actually talking to maybe Yellow Springs to the elementary school to be able to do one in there. They're still in talks though.
Okay.
So, let's see, COS position, total people served was 81 in that 2-week period as well. Business First, Meg and Aaron, Elise, sit down, talked with them to try to schedule the first one to see what information they wanted to collect. So there's more to come on the Business First community walk.
Johnny, can I just mention on that?
Yeah.
So I see the part about regional folks basically, you know, sharing insights and whatnot. It seems to me that it would also make sense to have some local folks, you know, business leaders and whatnot in the mix.
You're correct. And we'll be talking about that, but we've talked about that, Brian. And a lot of things that won't be said to locals will be said to other community leaders. So that is the reason why they kind of bring in some other faces to be able to help out and to get a different perspective other than somebody talking to myself or Kevin or Michelle. They may tell somebody from Montgomery County something totally different that they won't tell us. So they'll be partnered and paired up, and there'll be more to come before it actually happens.
Great.
We answered some more audit questions today. Hopefully, they'll wrap up before the next one. So we're still providing information and documents, and hopefully they're getting to the end where they can do their final report. Life insurance, Cameron and Michelle and Jesse Lido and Elise and everybody else that has done the due diligence to get the life insurance, thank you very much. And we got some things cleared up, and got some people that needed insurance, and got some that didn't need insurance, got a reduction anyway. So I made a note on my paperwork. We are trying to get an agreement with Tecumseh Land Trust and from the Glens to drill the 2 wells in the bottom part of the Glens down by Jacoby. The Glens have given us permission. Tecumseh Land Trust has given us permission. We got to get some legal documents for right-of-ways. So Amy and Choice One is working on some survey and some documents. I did have a pretty large meeting this last week with the Ohio EPA. Our grant expires October 31st, so it's been a process to get to where we are now. But they just told me to email them and they would give us another extension on that, so we don't lose that grant funding. It's $20,000. So we don't want to get all the way to that point and then not be able to do the work, because you got to be able to do it, pay it, and get reimbursed before the end of October. So I will tell you that, and it's not in, I don't think it's in this one. I sit in about a 4-hour meeting with the EPA has hired a contractor to come and study PFAS, and there will be doing a lot of community brochures, education. We was chosen by the EPA to be representing like a small village. So the contractor and the EPA will be touring our plant, which they did, but they'll be doing some behind the scenes work and some study work to figure out what it would take to remove it from ours in the treatment process versus the blending like we're doing now. And then they would do the supporting documents, even though it doesn't directly link you into the funding. It also will help us, if we can get a better process to be able to do it. There was people they flew in from Chicago, they flew in from Washington, Colorado, everywhere. So we had we had 13, I believe, in-house, and we had 9 or 10 online. So a meeting that was going to be a 30-minute meeting for me wound up being 4 hours because my plant operator had to be out due to family emergency. But the team stepped up, did a great job. Lisa and Cameron jumped in there and got the Zoom all set up. And then Kevin Martin and Dale Fisher and myself did the plant tour. People from Washington, D.C., environmental engineer from Dayton, they walked the plant. They loved it. They complimented how well it looks. Even though it's built in 2018, it still looks like the day that we walked in and took it over. So great job to Brad and his team. 14 million gallons of water treated in July. Let's see, fire hydrant flushing. They will be starting that the week of the 15th. We'll be having the message boards out there. So we don't anticipate any discolored water, but there could be. We have been very good the last couple of years that we've not had any stir up, but there's always a possibility. So we're going to make sure that everybody knows it. It's going to be on the YS Connect. If you ain't downloaded that, that's YS Connect at your app store. I made sure that everybody from the EPA downloaded it as well. So they all thought it was a great thing as well. So that will be coming. Now, we did not flush last year. If you remember, we chose not to because we had one tower down at the time. So this will be a 2-year. That's the reason why we're like, let's take a chance, and we need to flush them. So there could be some discolored water. But just let us know we got the iron out in the utilities if your clothes get it.
When is that?
A week of September 15th.
Okay.
Alex and Elaine is finishing their 3rd year of apprenticeship this week with AMP. They got done, so they're almost done. They got 1 more year, and we'll have 2 more certified linemen on the department. The John Bryant Center, if you have been around, you have seen a bunch of MSD vans. They have started the elbow replacement, and we're so lucky they did because they was finding places that was leaking that had not dripped to the ceiling yet, but it was on the insulation. So they've not had very successful of everyone they've taken out. It's been a leak, and a lot of it is the soldering joints as well. So hopefully to have that done in about another month and then be able to turn the heating system back on.
Just a nerdy question. Are the soldering joints bad, or is there something with the fluid going through the pipes that leads to the breakdown?
30 years of, it was in 90, what is this, done 93, and the chemical that is running through it we had hard water in there, and then we changed it to another system to help the boilers out, and in return, we stripped out the hard water. It's kind of like we did it on the water lines. Once you have iron and manganese in the system, then you put it in a chemical to clean it out, and now all of a sudden iron and manganese gone, and now you have pinholes everywhere.
You had manganese served the purpose.
Yeah, exactly. We're saving the boilers, but we didn't help the 90s.
Right. Gotcha.
So we had a couple large trees fall on Fairfield Pike that the crews got done. And if you've noticed Railroad Street parking, there is a couple benches that are being used now, and they got new grass areas, and they treated that area over there, kind of cleaned up that area. So People can go to the bakery or go to Peaches or get a sandwich and sit there on the benches and eat. And they're going to put a trash can over there as well. And 25 youth, 17 dinners, and the pool will have a closing report next week. But Zerg was the official last dog in the water, and he absolutely had a great time. I've been told to stop by PD tonight to look at the videos from the officer that had him out there. And I want to say that we have 1,366 on YS Connect. We're about 2,000 short of being the village population. So if your friends ain't got it, tell them about it. I cannot believe how many people will go and ask in a meeting, and they're like, we're not stealing data. You're not going to get no junk emails. It's not a harm. Please download it if you want to know what the village is doing. If you want to look and see what the village was doing in the 90s, they have downloaded all the previous grapevines. You can see that we're in the same process as they was in the 90s.
Yeah. So we're going to hear complaints about, oh, y'all just rehashed the same.
So
It's amazing.
It is amazing how
it's repeating
things
itself.
do tend to, like bell bottoms, they come back.
I mean, there was a letter from 1995 that, like, we had the same issue in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Related to, policing, so.
Excellent. Any other questions, comments for the village manager regarding his report?
I have two things. First of all, an individual reached out to me and wants to invest her own money to take away invasive plants along the trail. And so I wanted to just mention it in general because it's really cool, but I'll connect the two of you. And she's talking about, sort of year on year.
Okay.
But basically starting past the brewery and then starting to take it out. And, she mentioned the spur and everything. I know at some point it'll not be Yellow Springs. And so I'm also putting her in contact with Greene County Parks and Trails.
I think once it hits the spur, it turns to Clark County.
Clark County. Okay, great.
On this side of the Glen? Or both sides of the,
She
or
talked.
both, the bike path, on both sides of the bike path?
Yeah.
Okay.
And and she mentioned, I think, using Arbor Care or something, but she had a lot of expertise about it and just wanted to get it out
I'll
there.
take 'em.
Yeah, I figured, she's talking about investing $5,000 a year.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Great.
And then the second thing is, I know we're at the sort of tail end of the gardening season, but I want to make sure that the deer fencing for Quarry Street is still on the list, and maybe there'll be more time now that the summer. Okay, thank you.
And just so you know, it is back in our name.
Oh, good.
So the property is now returned back to the village.
Great. Glad that got resolved.
Okay. Nothing? Okay, all right. I just, saw the hand. Yeah. All right, well, we're trucking along here. All righty, thank you for that, Johnny. Okay, we have no old business. The first item on new business has been scratched, so we're now to council special events and project sponsorship request for 2026 budget. Yes.
So for the 2026 budget, we're trying to streamline the process for budget or council request. So we have two different forms this year. We probably had them last year. We're just specifying which ones are which. For sponsorship of the special events, we have our normal list of funding for the established events. I know Brian emailed me today about Earth Day for that amount. We have that listed in the packet, but we still require the sponsorship form to be completed for those events. And then if there's any new events, we also would like that form completed and turned in. The deadline for that will be no later than September 22nd, and they can be turned in to Judy. And then the second form that we have is the sponsorship of major projects or initiatives, and that it requires a council person sponsor. So the form's attached, and Any groups requesting support for major projects or initiatives must complete the form available through Judy's office, and completed forms must be submitted to council member by September 22nd, 2025. So they need to be sponsored, completed, and turned in by September 22nd.
And so the council member will turn them in, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And only those requests received on time and with the sponsorship will be presented at the October 15th meeting. Anything that's turned in after that deadline or without the council member sponsorship will not be accepted. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've got some questions I'll ask you offline, because, I've sent you a couple of notes
Yes.
about things. Just want to know in my mind, which I think it's the second form that might be more appropriate, but we can talk. Because I'm just looking at my notes, and I just want to be able to ferret out which way I want to go on which.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
I had a couple of questions.
Sure.
Yep.
So the special event sponsorship, that document,
Yes.
so those are those ones that, where there's cash being given?
Either cash or like,
So this is cash or something else?
yes, or like barricades or the porta-johns.
Okay. So does that mean that, like, so street fair was on there, for example, so does that mean that we don't have any costs related to street fair?
Yeah, street fair will be on there as well. And then what we'll do is on some of them that it will go in, it won't be a checkout, but we'll be able to put that in the budget. Council will let us know to put it in the budget. We'll put it in the budget, we'll put it in the pay items as far as for labor, and it won't be actually just write a check.
And we did miss putting that one on there. Street
Okay.
fair.
No, we didn't on purpose, because
It's
there were
normally
large
in it.
events that were
The council's got to vote on them large events to be able to sponsor them
During-
year to year.
budget, but
Correct.
Okay.
that was that you had automatically held out those amounts based on
For the overtime.
knowledge of,
Yep.
yeah,
Okay.
Right.
for the major events. And then, yes, you vote on it during budget, but they don't require a sponsor, they don't.
Okay. So then the other question was, so say the council or the commissions or the council members, so like if Kevin wants to put $10,000 into the chairs, is this the process that we all use too, or is there a different process for that?
I believe so. This would be the same process.
Okay, so we would just complete.
That was actually my question. So we'd have to complete the
So
form.
for the commissions, the commissions, they didn't do that last year, did you?
Who did? They did.
Yeah.
It's a separate process.
Okay.
If council wants something in the budget, whether it be for another organization, or if you want to see something change, like Kevin wants $20,000 in chairs, then he would
I'm
put it
really-
in there that he wants 20. So Kevin could turn in 10 things, and then we're going to bring it all to council, and then they're going to vote on what to accept or not to accept.
Okay, so the second form, the Village of Yellow Springs sponsorship proposal, if Kevin wants to put money in for chairs, he should fill out that form
Yes, I would.
by that date. Otherwise, we won't put it,
Otherwise,
it won't be in the first pass of the budget at least.
Correct.
This doesn't mean somebody couldn't conceivably bring something up later, but you're saying for the first pass, that would not include. Okay, cool, thank you.
And so that we would just fill that out, applicant group or name,
Right.
council
Just you.
person?
Yep.
Okay.
It won't be chairs, but I will do something.
So just on the sponsorship proposal form, the PDF, it looks weird, but there are supposed to be 3 checkboxes, right?
At the top.
So, yeah, at the top. So there's the checkbox for arts and culture, I guess it should be public arts and culture now, environmental commission, and then there's a check for council? Is that,
Yes.
okay. So, you see like
Public
there,
arts and
Where it's
culture,
blue.
Council,
Yeah.
okay.
it's just kind of weird, looks like the
Yeah.
checkbox got moved or
Well,
something.
according to my form, everything is for council.
Right.
Because it's pre-checked. I'm joking.
So then my other question was, how are folks knowing about the forms and the deadlines?
The normal events, I was going to email out
Correct. Great.
the forms,
Okay, that was my.
the ones that we
Because
have on
we
the
have
list.
one person in particular that always submits them late, and so, so it'd be good to, let them know, yeah,
Okay.
we need it
Yep.
on time. And then, I guess, the others, they sort of just have to be following our meetings, or?
We can put it out on social media as well if we need to. But, I
Or on
mean,
the
we got,
website.
you five are here. We know the normal people. I mean, Chamber has it as well. We know Pride, we know Art on the Lawn, we know, I can't think, Film Fest, and,
Yeah.
we know the normal hitters.
Yeah. I guess I wanted to make sure we were at least emailing the usual suspects.
Yes, yes.
We are.
I'm not sure we need it on social media. I don't know if anyone.
I think we may communicate with Philip and a couple of council people, but to make sure we have everybody, but I think we know all the normals.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I agree that, trying to come up with a common sense sort of a hybrid type solution. Ultimately, we know, unless there's something new, I mean, there could be something new.
Would it hurt to put it in the app or to put it on social media? I mean, obviously we do. I don't want to do overkill, but I think that it might be a good idea to put it on social media. Put it on the village's page. That's it.
Well,
Yellow
I would
Springs
not
page.
put it on social media.
No, village,
We can put it on-
I need to not say social media. I didn't
Well,
mean to say
it is.
social media. I meant to say on the village, like on the village's
On
site.
our website,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
applications do.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the current things or whatever. Great.
Okay.
Philip's got an idea.
Sure, coming
I
up.
seen the smoke.
Thanks, Michelle.
So even though we know, Philip, Chamber of Commerce, even though we know the heavy hitters or the people that are the organizations, it sounds like there is some fluidity when it comes to who can request this, correct?
Yes.
So it's not just the people who are organizations, council can, or if somebody's having an event that is a new event, right? So my recommendation would be to spell this out in detail on the website as if nobody knows anything about the events, so that there is no question as to the process, to the whom, to the where, and to the what, and to the how. So it just doesn't become hearsay or rumor.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And the part that I feel like we haven't talked about that I would want to make sure would be in there would be making sure people understand this is part of this larger budget process that isn't, I worry that people think it's like a grant application, that if
Correct.
they apply,
Right,
then
they'll get it.
there's money available, and it's, hey, this is just what would then be considered as part of the budget, and maybe even saying something to the effect of, there are standard events. I just don't want to give people mislead people that there's a significant expectation of there being notable new things.
Philip, I like the way you introduce yourself by one name. I like that. Yeah. Well, everybody knows you. That's Philip. All right. Any other commentary? Everybody good about this moving forward? Thank you again, Michelle, for that information. Johnny, did you have something else?
Nope.
Okay, very good. So the next item is the Short Street update. Right? Yes.
Ben, do you have oh, look at that. Team put a slideshow together.
I like it.
Okay, so this started as a pilot project, and it still as a pilot project. We are learning as we go. We've had some great events there. This weekend, it was a great event as well. I know that it's on Blacktop. I know that we've had an extremely hot summer. I know we've had an extremely rainy summer, but it's getting more and more traction. It has helped on some aspects. It has eliminated 4 parking spots on total, but it also made people aware that we have parking on Elm and we have parking on Phillips and other areas. So if you go to the next slide, this was the original rendering when I was talking to Jenna Marie that they did. It's somewhat scary that it looks about that way, but the team did a great job. Ben and his team, they did the trash cans. We partnered with the local garden place that that rents from us. The name has totally slipped my mind. Stony Creek. They come in and they actually planted all the flowers for their cost. And they absolutely made that space with the trash can flower pots. And then the community foundation, we was trying to figure out how we're going to water them. The community foundation is paying a local person that lives right there to maintain and water them. He's doing a great job. His name's Marshall. He's doing a fantastic job, and he is getting on to the people that is not doing the right things by dumping some stuff in there. He'll make sure that he tells them that the trash cans are over there, they're not here. So great job. Marshall is really doing a great job of keeping our plants alive and watered, because they've been dead if I'd have already watered them. Or Carmen can tell you I killed a perfectly healthy plant by watering it too much. Oh my goodness. So the next one. This was for the opening of the cinema for the marquee reveal. This space was packed that night. I'd say about 400 people, but it was a great event. Had local band, had the brass band, a lot of, well, you see the belly dancers. I think I hear bells, so that's the reason why.
Right now.
So, but it was a great event. The space is being used, and we're getting a lot of great feedback. Yes, we have some bad feedback, but we have a lot of great feedback as well. The next space there. Picnic tables, we heard, we went out and got some cheap shade. They don't like the wind very well, but we've lost one. But it's helped out tremendous. Gets people to stay down there. They go down, they get food, coffee, take their dogs down there. They sit at the tables. We've had schools ate lunch there with some teachers. Community Foundation has had lunch there. Me and staff has been down there, ate lunch. We just go and get some local food, and we go hang out on Short Street. The public restrooms, they're porta-johns right now, but we just submitted a grant at 4 o'clock to see if we can get some funding for permanent bathrooms down there that is not porta-johns. 20 by 20 tent has been a great place to be able to get some shade on a hot day. Lisa and I was down there, and there was 2 iguanas. Some people from out of town had 2 iguanas on a leash. I'd never seen such a thing. But I'm talking, they was probably 3.5, 4 feet long, and they was 15 and 16 years old iguanas, walking them like they was just babies, like they was babies, like they was animals. So the benches, they have not been permanently mounted down, and I see that it's a great thing because you can move it to fit the space. So you may see them in a half moon, you may see them over on one side. But there's the hanging lights that are on 4x4s and the trash can, but they do a good job at nighttime lighting up that space. Next one, bike racks. This is Gary Zlowinski's creation. He actually donated the bike racks, and my guys mounted them down to some signposts. So I've always seen bikes every day since we put them out there. People are parking their bikes there, and it's an actual pretty cool thing to be able to see them, because I think Friday when I went by, there was 7 bikes out there, and I was like, well, a lot of people are riding downtown versus driving downtown. The emergency department, the fire department, they were on board with the space. They actually helped us. We had some people trying to barbecue underneath the tent, So they come down there and helped us, and they told them they can't have barbecue pits in the tent area. So they helped us there. The drivers, I don't know that you're ever going to correct bad behavior on driving. And I don't know that we can ever do it, but we are doing a challenge. If you are cutting through Tom's parking lot, stop it, but you're probably doing it before we close Short Street. Concrete barricades, our artist, the full-time artist, part-time meter reader that has been working for us has done a fantastic job. I was trying to figure out how he come up with those, and then all of a sudden the manager's report, they highlighted, it's everything yellow. And yellow happens to be my favorite color, so maybe he knew that or not. But actually, the one that I like the best is the murals, the mushrooms, and then the light bulb on the far right. And you guys can't see that, but these are things that we can envision. John Hudson has an art piece in there as well. I went to the OCMA conference back in February, and I come back and I was like, really put off that we are the artist community. And during the OCMA, there was a presentation about how people have artwork through their town, and then they somehow get a strange name, and then they're known for that strange name. I'm like, man, we're the artist community, and I can't tell you of I mean, I know we got the Tree of Knowledge and we got some, but we should be having artwork every time we turn it around. And we should be known as the artist community because we're Yellow Springs. So we're going to work on that as well. Travis has done a fabulous job, though. Along with the hydrants. The hydrants is all Travis as well. This is, I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's blacktop. Well, this is a pilot project, and we can do so much more if this space was permanent. We still got infrastructure under it, so we got to be cautious of how we do it. But there's things that we can do if we was to do anything permanent. And we can reinvent the space to make it more attractive. You know, we walked to lunch today. We met with Brian Heck from Springfield. We ate lunch with him, and he loved it when he went by. And if you go down to downtown Springfield, you'll see that they put pickleballs in the back of their municipal building, and all weekend long they have pickleball people out there in the evening time playing pickleball. So it's reinventing the community space. And I was sent some pictures over the weekend, and then some social media, because I don't do it, but it's social media, and it's really driving home what we wanted to do. This is a community space. It's great to have extra seating for people to go to Current Cuisine or go to Sunrise or go to Tom's and get a sandwich, or Peaches in Trailtown, all them different restaurants, but where are you going to sit? So let's allow them, the tourists and villagers, to get that, bring it back to Short Street, sit at the tables, hang out down there, and then in the evening time, when you go home or you get done in the evening times, you're going to come down and hear a band. Where Thursday on the way home, I noticed people walking downtown with lawn chairs to listen to the bands on Short Street. It reminds me of our community event that we have for 4th of July, where you see people literally walking to Gaunt Park, and the same thing was happening on a Thursday evening just to come down and listen to the local band that was performing. So, and I'd say a lot of this goes to Philip has helped out, Samantha has helped out, Gina Marie has helped out. A lot of community people have helped out with this space to make it what it is or what it could be. Trash cans, my guys are, because Rumpke won't go down the street, so they've been going out there and they've been wheeling them to the curbs and making sure that the trash is taken care of. Next. That is actually the original parking on top of what we have added. The top is original. The bottom is what it is now. So if you'll notice, we got 2 parking spots, handicap on Xenia Avenue, and then we have 7 on Walnut Street. We had 14 total before, so we're down 5. But we've also added bike parking, which is a plus as well. The other thing that this has done is it's helped out with the Mills Lawn drop-off school. because you don't have that short street, people trying to cut through, drop off, and turn and go. So it's really helped out with drop off for Mills Lawn as well, because you only got one way in, and there's not that side street coming in. So a lot of positive feedback on that. There is some other potential parking spots for the bank that is in the process of being thought about right now. So there could be more to come on that one.
So also, since we're talking about parking, because that seems to be the primary issue. I mean, I think it's notable that we're talking about 5 spots. And I also wonder, how much that can really change behavior. But Gary Zaremski was talking to me yesterday, and he wondered if there is no longer a street, are there other opportunities for parking, I guess on the, I think he was thinking on the east side of.
On Xenia Avenue?
Yeah.
That has been brought up numerous of times, and I say no, because those crosswalks are used all the time.
Right.
And if you park a car there, it's hard enough to see without having cars parked in the middle right there. Plus, if you have a drop-off for Short Street or for an event, it's nice to be able to just pull over, unload, and then go into the event.
What about where the bike corral used to be?
Where the
past
white
it.
car is right now?
Yeah, I think so.
I see a white car.
Yeah, on the top right, there's a white car right there, and we'd actually taken one of the parking spots and made a bike corral right there. So,
Thanks, Ben.
Well, anyway, as long as you're thinking
Yes.
about it, I just wanted to share that,
yep. Okay, next. Operating guidelines, this is where, trying to get events, doing music, community events. We can imagine a lot of things. This is, again, the opening of the marquee. The performers have been ran through Gina Murray. We've had a birthday party there. We've had a wedding reception. We had Hacky Sack event this weekend where the people just wanted to come down and play hacky sack. My legs don't bend that way, so I don't play hacky sack. So it's just really, we've not had too many noise complaints. We have had, I think there was 2, but that's really minimal compared to what we would have, and they're very respectful of shutting down at the right time. Next one, Ben. Local artist and the foundation and John Hudson again. Again, we installed the power pole, the temporary panel there for the bands to be able to plug in. They was using the hardware store, which wasn't right, so they had thrown it out the second window and plugging it in that way. We're like, no, let's put a temporary panel out there. One thing that I should mention is it will be closed during street fair. We've made the decision to leave it closed. So street fair is planning around it at the last minute, and thankfully they was able to work with us. But they're having to redo some traffic in some different vendor locations, but this is still going to remain open to the public, but closed during that period of time so people can sit there and eat and have a little bit spread out area to be able to sit and relax while they're eating their food off of the food alley right there. Next one. Again, we're looking for feedback. We've seen it in the paper. They've told me about it on social media. Really, I think we're about a month away from trying to make any kind of decision, but it will come back to council to see what you guys' wishes are. And following that, Philip, is Vibrant Yellow Springs? Can you speak to that?
Good evening, Philip O'Rourke. Executive Director of the Yellow Springs Chamber of Commerce. Wanted to be clear.
That's who you are.
Yeah. So thank you for asking about Keep It Vibrant. This is an initiative with the Community Foundation, of course, in partnership with the Village. So this whole piece, one of the things that we noticed from an economic standpoint, from some of the business owners downtown standpoint, there is a disconnect between commerce and community. When people are looking to see, we need more traffic, we need more people in our stores, we need more X, Y, and Z, there was a disconnect because they were saying that a lot of the community wouldn't come into the stores. We hear that a lot of the community thinks that downtown isn't for them. Everything is for tourists. So keepitvibrant.org, we actually launched a few different campaigns. One of those was a survey to the community to ask, just to kind of ask, if you could find it downtown, if it was available downtown, I'm paraphrasing, if you could purchase it downtown, what would it be? So if you were to buy something downtown, what would it be if it was there? One of the things that we noticed from a wide variety of numerous entries was that the things that people were asking for and said, I would buy this if it was downtown, was already downtown. So keepitvibrant.org and Keep It Vibrant campaign was really for the community. How can we encourage community to come downtown and be patrons in that space? How can we say, this is our downtown? I had a speech about that. I think it was one of my first ones when I came. Like, this is our downtown. There's a disconnect. So part of that is looking at community feedback, of course, and I want to say thank you to the business owners that were here, because that's the kind of feedback that is necessary, and that's the kind of feedback that is balanced. Although those voices can be many, there are also other voices that are many. So when it comes to the community feedback, what we're looking at is giving them the opportunity to drive the vision. In this last edition of the YS News, there was also a call for what is your concept of this space? One of the things that we were sensitive to, and I say we, it's not my project, it's the Village's. I'm just here. One of the things that I was passionate about is if this is going to be a pilot project, if this is going to be something that we can say we tried our best in this space with what we have to tangibly see, can this work? We have to put our best foot forward, hearing all of the feedback. But part of that also comes with design. What is this going to look like? Is this something that is happening with the community? Is this something that is happening with downtown businesses? Or is this something that is happening to everybody? So in this past YS News on keepitvibrant.com, I think it's .org, excuse me, there was the opportunity for community, including business owner, community feedback. If you were to see this space, what do you see? Is there a link to something that you see in another town? I know from a marketing standpoint, economic standpoint, when you have a community space like this, increased traffic stays. People shop and they stay. When you look at the stats of community spaces like this, for communities to come and gather and have other interactions that are not necessarily commerce, but link them to commerce and remind them that there are local businesses here and put faces with businesses, commerce increases. So the goal was to let people know that they have a part in the vision. Let people know that we want to hear what it is that you see. And I'm so fortunate to be able to facilitate that, and that's live right now. That's always been a component of this entire project. There's been the FAQ that goes to keepitvibrant.org. There, you're able to give your feedback. You're able to say, hey, I love this, or hey, I don't enjoy this because of these things. We talked about parking. There may be some revenue challenges, but one of the things that this answers very specifically in the core optics of the space is merging and building the bridge between community and commerce. We saw that last night or the other night with the Battle of the DJs. You know, there were so many people downtown. One of the things that we saw, yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we saw downtown, which we normally don't see in a mixed area, was the entire demographic, age demographic of Yellow Springs. Not seated looking at an arena, not seated looking at a presenter, but really dancing downtown. How do we get people to know that downtown is a place that I belong. And this place that's filled with our business owners, filled with our entrepreneurs, this is a place that embraces me as well. So keepitvibrant.org has all of the opportunities for the community to provide their feedback, the good, the bad, the challenging, all of that, because it's a pilot project. And I will say this again, and then I'll sit down. We owe it to ourselves in this pilot season to exhaust the possibilities of Short Street. Does it work or does it not, right? And then we can put it to rest. And then we can put it to rest because we've done our best. We've tried everything. We looked at all of the evaluations. It works for parking. It works for the schools. Does it meet all of this criteria? And then we can make an educated decision to say economically, this is this. Community-wise, this is this. So keepitvibrant.org, that's where you can go and share your feedback and your design opportunities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip, one name person. That was cool, though, Ben. It was like you guys tag team. It was like Philip was a voiceover of on your film. Johnny, I'm gonna let you finish, and then I got a question or two.
I think that was it.
Was it?
Yep.
All right, I'll take your word for it. The programming. I think one of the big hits, the DJ challenge, for one, competition, whatever you call it. And all the other things, Rhythm and Shoes, Karen and I were at, and Tron and his, Tronny Threat, and his colleagues. I guess I'm curious. It looked like, I think the Community Foundation and Mad River Theater Works had a big hand in all that, but my question then is, are we intentional about providing programming? Is that just a one-off? Are we just fortunate that those folks stepped up?
No, it's been a great teamwork between the Chamber, the Community Foundation, and the staff. Samantha, all the information still comes to Samantha, and then Samantha will give them the okay to be able to do all this. But Gina Marie or the Community Foundation, along with Philip, they really put in the effort to try to make things happen in the evening times. Staff is just there trying to make it happen during the daytime, making sure things are in the right place, moving stuff around for them. Little Art reached out to us directly, and that we met there. Staff and I met with the Little Art Theater, made some things with them. They wanted it a certain way. We were like, hey, well, whatever works. And then we I gave them permission to do the crosswalks, which still look amazing. So I think it's really, to be honest with you, this is what happens when the community comes together and wants to keep the community, but we also want to have the tourist dollars come in and give them a place to hang out. Maybe they want to become some of the community.
I also noticed Chris Westhoff with the Foundry Theater has been involved in the programming.
When I said Mad River Theater Works,
Right,
I was referring to Chris.
yeah.
He's actually who Gina Marie got a hold of, and he has actually been doing this on Thursdays. He's been scheduling things, and I just met Chris last week for the first time on Friday, and he absolutely loves it. He can see more things like that happening.
Yeah.
You have one more? Yep.
Thank you. And one of the things that I wanted to say, and I'm so glad that you asked that question, one of the things that I'm excited about is the sensitivity to ensure that what is being programmed on Short Street in this pilot capacity, as well as looking forward to future program, if it becomes permanent, is what does this actually do to the programming that's already existing in the village? What does this do? Let's use Trailtown Brewing. Let's use Peaches or Tuck and Reds. Is this a competition? Is this overlap? And that is a really great question because, of course, because I advocate for all businesses, not just the ones that are in the chamber, but to make a positive impact on all the businesses in the community. So I know that that's something that is very sensitive. I have been very fortunate to be brought into some conversations where there has been some overlap because it has to be great for the community, but it can't hurt the businesses. You know, so what kind of programming can we have? At what time will it make sense so we don't pull audiences away from the downtown businesses and our YS nightlife? A great example, again, would be the Battle of the DJs. We're looking at the calendar and looking at the programming of all of the downtown businesses. Who has live music during this time? So it won't be programmed there. You know, so we found a place where the community can come down, but they don't have to sacrifice or split their attention. They can say there's nothing really going on programming-wise like that way. I know that there's some work to do, but I just wanted to throw that out there because we are sensitive to that. I'm sensitive to that, and that is part of the decision-making process when it comes to what is programmed on that space.
Good.
The other thing we've done is we're also knowing that if there's something else going on, when we're ending, we're promoting those other places. Hey, they're still going on there. I just have one more thought in my, that a lot of ours is also family oriented, you know? So the kids are out playing behind the community foundation while the mom and dads are dancing in the streets. So I had something else that just come back to mind and I forgot, but I'll pass it on to you.
I have those senior moments too.
Yes.
I guess I would just, overall, I feel like this is a positive. I think the programming, again, as long as we're intentional, and folks know that we're intentional. Because I have fielded, there were times, I felt awkward. If I'm downtown, like 2 months ago, and, ooh, somebody's there during the day. I'm taking pictures of people that show, some of the other folks I'm hearing saying, oh, there's nobody there. And then after the murals were done, I was taking pictures of those. Just let people know it's a positive thing. I guess my question would be, I know it was Street Fair to Street Fair was the original plan, and we're going to reevaluate next month. I guess my question for the everyone involved, and Philip, you alluded to some statistics from other like communities. I guess I'm thinking, from October till June. How long is it still viable? I don't need an answer to the question, but I'm just saying that's a long period of time where some of this stuff just wouldn't work well, perhaps. It could be other stuff, as long as, again, we're intentional. And then just from a logistics standpoint, is it easier, simpler to consider making it permanent as opposed to doing it every year from street fair to street fair?
Come back.
Got you. Okay, good. Council, any other? This was just primarily informational.
Yeah,
so
correct.
Really, I know I've taken the liberty, but again, just want to emphasize, and I do apologize for taking the time that I've taken. Thank you, Philip, for your input. I think this has been good. As Village Manager just alluded to, there will be more information coming. If you got a real serious salient point, because I took the time, if someone, just a quick salient point, if you want to share, please.
I'll just quickly add many of the things that Philip mentioned and that you've talked about. It sounds like you're thinking about. It'd be, when you do like a report or whatever, it'd be helpful to have a sense of more about the staffing, like just how much capacity is it taking for the village, anything about cost, and then the programming pieces that have been brought up, and then really appreciate hearing about the design. Would be interested in that. And then this question about, like, is it open sometimes, closed other times? What are some pros and cons? You see different communities that use, barriers and then take them down and move things, and, just be interested to hear. I'm sure you all have thought about it. It would be helpful to have a sense of how you're considering it right now.
In all fairness, once again, rest of council, any quick points? Okay.
Just a quick follow-up. In Johnny's presentation, you mentioned, maybe switching to bollards at some point.
Correct.
And that does allow for flexibility because those are removable. But anyway,
I do remember what I was going to say. At no point in time, I want to make this very clear. At no point in time have you ever heard me say Adora out of my mouth.
Right.
None.
Well,
None. I want to put that clear.
I will say I said it and you were like, no way. So yeah, you don't even want us saying it.
No.
But I appreciate that clarity. Yeah, and that is a serious
It is.
point. Indeed. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. I think we are now to Brian and Carmen.
Yeah. Carmen, you want to share a little bit about Kelly?
Oh, sure. So what day was that? It was last Wednesday. On Wednesday, Brian and I had a tag team interview for Kelly Carpy. She is interested in joining the Public Arts and Culture Commission. Kelly has a lot of experience right now. She is actually working, she's on the board of Sister Trillium. She has been an event coordinator and has worked corporately, kind of in that capacity, consulting. She also has done some mini workshops at the Yellow Springs Brewery Barrel House. She's done a silent auction for Sister Trillium. I've known her in some capacity or another for the last 4 years or so, and I think she would be a really good fit, especially with her in her event planning capacity.
Yeah, and she's also got some nonprofit background as well. It was probably the first time that we did an hour-long interview.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just really into it and wants to serve, and so she's going to be great. So, you want to nominate?
Sure. I'm going to nominate Kelly Carpy for membership to serve on the PACC.
And I'll second it.
All right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving this nomination, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? Any abstentions? Okay, great. She's been approved, moving forward. So that was the end of new business, right, Judy? That was a new item, so we're good? All right. Now we're moving forward to future agenda items. Let me start with, I do want to request an executive session for the beginning of our next meeting for all the same words that we used in our last one. I can't remember. It was lots of stuff. We can fine tune it in agenda planning, but we just want to have a meeting and talk about some of the things that came up in the last executive session. Okay? All right. Any other things that came out of this?
Just that you've moved that staff evaluation composition review timeline down to the meeting on the 15th. Other than that, I do not have anything new.
Should we, you just mentioned like in the next month, the Short Street stuff, should we have something on the agenda?
I think we ought to put it on for either the first meeting or second meeting in October.
I think after street fair,
After street fair?
just because that'll be a change that, would also be good to include discussing.
So it'd be the second meeting.
The 15th of October.
15th. Thank you, Gavin.
Interesting. Okay. Anything else? Just-
Oh, it's 20th,
Oh, thank you.
work sessions.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying, how is it that we got the 1st and the 15th of this month, and then the 1st and the 15th? Okay, I feel better now. Okay, so the 20th of October is our second meeting. Gotcha.
I
Okay.
did see earlier, it was December 1st and December 15th.
Oh. Oh. Well, December 5th will be my birthday. Not that that has anything to do with anything. For the sake of your respective calendars.
So on the 20th is the Short Street update?
Yes.
Yep.
Update.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else on the future agenda items? All right, anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned. Have a great.